Hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sushan Shebna Dillar White, aka the Descendants of Jacob's Nation Ministry. How are you this evening? I come to you today because I have a lot that I would like to talk about, but the topic today will be the UCC1 financing statement. As a ministry, this is for educational purposes. I have my book up because in this book, there's step one can take to take themselves out of the public sector and place themselves into the private sector immediately. Okay? This book is up now on Amazon. Also, ladies and gentlemen, as a nonprofit ministry, I am self-funding myself. This is another reason why I have been marketing. I don't want to say marketing, but technically it is my book, the world book, your book. This book is a book that is here to help on so many different levels. It is a book of a variety of topics, which also gives you an idea of where my head is, right? However, it's a very helpful book. And in this book, you literally can take yourself out of the public category and place yourself into a private category. So this book will be up here and will be up here to help all those who are ready. Not everyone wants out of the matrix, and I understand that. And that's fine. So this book would not be for you, but for all those children of the earth who are looking and seeking guidance and trying to understand what is happening in this world right now. This book is for you. So don't want to digress. We are here to talk about the UCC1 financing statement. So let's get started. The very first thing, ladies and gentlemen, we all will need our long form birth certificate. Everyone needs to get a copy of their long form. Why? The long form birth certificate have information on it that will be needed for the application. Okay? So I am literally going backwards because I want to walk those who like their hand held every step of the way. Like I wish I had someone holding my hand as I was learning about the straw man and understanding the world that we live in regards to the straw man. However, I just want to be thorough as well, if that makes sense. So you will go to the state of where you were born. You will literally get on your vital check or whatever it's called in your state, whatever the website. You will fill in your information, starting with your name. So I don't know if this is the first page. We're going to go back to the first page. So we're getting our birth certificate, vital check. This is in the state. It doesn't even say state of New York, but up here, as you see, it says vitalcheck.com. It doesn't even say whatever state. But the point is, you're getting your birth certificate. Okay, very first step. All my information is pre-filled out, okay? So once you take every step of the way that you take, what I want to point out is they're going to ask you, what is the reason for your birth certificate? All right? That part, we're going to say for authentication. Okay, this is the reason. You got a whole bunch of categories, but we're going to say authentication, okay? And you continue, and this is the screen that's going to pop up. It's going to say birth vault certificate. This is the certificate that we need, ladies and gentlemen, not the regular one, not the small, short one. This is the long one. I'm going to give you an example of what it looks like. I'm going to show you guys mine. So here, when you look down here, it says Neil A. Smith. You guys see that? And then it has the address. The address says 600 East 233rd Street, Bronx, New York, 10476. So this is the address of this straw man. This is the exact date, the place it was created, and time, and the actual person who signed off on the actual certificate. That information is vital. Your long form is the only form that will have this information that will be needed when we fill out the UCC1, okay? So remember, long form is needed because of your birth of your straw man, or your birth of your tacken was created. That address is on the long form, and we will need that address. So this is the reason why we need our long form, okay? So while we're waiting for our long form birth certificate to come in the mail, the second investment, ladies and gentlemen, yes, your second investment will be a P.O. box. You will need a P.O. box. Yes, we do need a P.O. box. You know why we need a P.O. box? Because this is what separates you from the tacken, right? Because you're now going to be the controller of the all caps name. So it'll be a care of address for the all caps name. That's why you need a P.O. box. It separates you from the all caps name. That's the whole point of the P.O. box. So while we're waiting for our birth certificate, you will literally invest into a P.O. box, which will be your future and your children's future. When you start this process, this is a forever process. It doesn't end. This is ongoing until, I guess, we pick up and leave the corporation itself. You will use this P.O. box until we need it no more. Okay? Second investment, you will need a P.O. box address. So you go to USPS, you will go down to rent a box, and you will literally rent a box. Very easy to do. You can pay half a month, or you can pay for a whole year. It's up to you. So now that we have our actual P.O. box, and now we actually have our long form birth certificate, we're going to go over to Bad Wolf's website. Blacksite32.com is the website that we're going to be looking at. This website, ladies and gentlemen, has a lot of free documents. You can literally come here and learn a hell lot of information. It's like a university, which I was very thankful for in my beginnings of understanding the differentiation of the straw man and who I am. So here, as you can see, Mr. Wolf, he has all the templates that you could use and need. I did pull up his template here, as you can see. Okay, this is what his look like. Now, you will go to your website, of course. In every state, they have a UCC1 financing form and statement application. Okay, so you will go to your state and you will type in UCC1. Let me see if I can do that for you. You can do UCC1 statement or UCC1, and you could just put your state, New York, let's say Kentucky, or let's say New Jersey. Goodness, let's do New Jersey and see what it looks up. Because all states adopt the UCC1 codes that is used for contracts when it comes to the all caps name, your tacken. So New Jersey have their own financing statement. New York, as you can see, we have ours as well. Each state have their own UCC1 financing statement form. It's curious to see what New Jersey looks like. So this is New Jersey, but it looks similar. You know, certain things are different from others because some forms are older than others. However, you go to your state. I just wanted to see what New Jersey looked like. So this is New York. This is ours. So I started a sample, okay? So box A and B, you guys. As you can see, you see my name, Sushan-Shebna:_Dillard-White. That is considered a beneficiary signature. Going forward, when we take ourselves out of the public and we are now private, this is considered your beneficiary signature. This is what it actually looks like. Sarah Ann Muller, it's called a beneficiary signature. This is how we will sign our name on every piece of document in regards to the TACN going forward when you become the administrator of it. You're no longer considered a corporation. And I think that's just to remind us that we're not that, so we sign like that. I mean, that's for me, it worked. So, box A, box B. Box A is optional. I did not put anything in box A. Box B, however, okay? You have your beneficiary name. The address there, care of, will be your P.O. box. Now you have an option. You can say P.O. box and the number of the box, or you can actually spell out the address. Your P.O. box, post office have an actual address. Make sure you get that actual address because that can be used in the long run and is very helpful. So box B will be your beneficiary name. It will also be your new P.O. box that you invested in while you were waiting for your long form birth certificate. We're going to move on down to box number 1. Common mistake that everyone was making in the very beginning when we were first filing these. Box number 1, when it asked for the debtor's information, some were putting the actual current address of where they live. That's a no-no. Your current address will not be used for this process at all. Common mistake. We don't want to make that mistake. To avoid that mistake, you will not be using your current address. This address for the debtor, now you have a choice to use 1A, now organization. As you can see, I will show you Bad Wolves. He chose to use the organization. You see option 1B. I chose to use 1B. Your choice. You will literally choose all caps everything, as you can see here. All capital letters. Because this is the straw man's information. This is TACN's information. This address, as you already know, is the address off of the what? The birth certificate. Your long form. That's why that address was needed. Moving on down, additional debtors. We won't be having any additional debtors. So we will jump down to box number 3, secure party's name. As you can see, it's not an organization. It's up to you. I chose to keep it as the married last name that I choose to keep. Now, I will say this. If you were married and you kept your spouse's last name, that's a plus because you can now use that. And this is like a new form of ID. However, if not, you can still use your name. And believe it or not, some people literally create names to use for this process. Either way, doesn't matter. But what does matter, that address, once again, will be what? Care of the P.O. box address that was in box B will be on 3C in the secure parties box, okay? Same address. The P.O. box will be the same address for the secure party's name. It's the same P.O. address in box B, okay? Box number 4. Going back down, let's get back over. Black site. As you can see down here, it says collateral text. I already highlighted it. You will do the same. You will highlight it. I actually put it on a page. You will highlight his copy. You will go back to your form. You will put it in this box and it fits 100% easily. Boom. Once you do that, you will go down to box number 5 and you will check box Bailey or Bailer. Okay? We're going to move on to the second page. Box number 9, again, your choice, organization or the actual person's name. I kept it all caps name. You will jump down to box number 17 and 18 on this page. So don't forget box 9. It's very important. The person, the corporation, we'll let them know who and what we're talking about. This page, for any additional information that didn't make it on the first collateral page, you can use this for. However, the very important factors on the second page here is box number 17 and box 18, as you can see. Box 17, we will be checking descendants estates, because that's exactly what we're making it. Box number 18 will be debtor is a transmitting utility, and exactly what the actual corporation was this whole time. So that literally completes the process of filing a UCC1 financial statement without getting any kickbacks, without any delays, okay? Because we dodge all the mistakes, the major mistake what people were making. Now, this process, imagine all of us doing this by the droves. And it's going to happen because we the people, we're not just going to be treated any kind of way. So what I'm trying to say as a ministry, okay? As a ministry, I'm doing my part to help humanity in my way, right? And everything that I learned in this matrix, I am to use it for our benefit as the people and against them, because you know how long they sat and knew and realized that we weren't putting 1 and 2 together in regards to the Constitution. Like, we got freedom of speech, but at the same time, we're not enforcing any other parts of the Constitution. Let's talk about grievances. Right now, the grievances that's going on in regards to them literally trying to usher in their 2030 agenda, that's grievance, right? But they know that we're not smart enough to put it together, that public citizens that protest, you can protest, freedom of speech, wonderful, freedom of speech, wonderful. But that's all you get. Private citizen, if we say something about that Constitution, we stand on it and they have to obey it. Rights, privileges and rights, 2 different levels. So I am here as a ministry, educational purposes only, to remind us that we have to use the tools that are at our disposal in this matrix. The UCC1 financial statement is one tool in my book, in this book, in your book. That's just one. The next video, I will be showing you how to authenticate your birth certificate, because this goes hand in hand. Why? Because if anything were to happen to our so-called passports, our birth certificate we can use to go anywhere in the world as long as it's authenticated on 3 levels. People have traveled with just their birth certificate, but only because they were authenticated on 3 levels. So, as a ministry, I will continue to teach, educate, until we start picking up. Now, I'm doing my part. What have you done today to raise Earth's frequency? You guys have a good one. Picking up.